everybody. Um, so I have been not really having a very interesting day to chat very much. But I do have one thing before you stop watching the video because, this is a boring one. Probably is. But anyway, first, I finished the bunny. Oh my gosh, look at the bunny. So this was, I showed you the square a few days ago, and this is what it turned into. So my little black bunny. And this is the friend for the bunny that I did last week. Aren't they cute? Oh my gosh. So now there are little bunny lovers, really. I mean, it's from a show. Not spoiling anything. This is Lawn Bunny and that's Bunny Wuxian. And they're so cute. I'm so happy with how they turned out. The black bunny, I wasn't sure on the eyes what to do, because if I did black eyes like Lawn Bunny, they wouldn't have shown up. But I had this silvery gray yarn that has a little bit of black threads through it, so I put that in there, and it's kind of spooky but kind of cool looking. So anyway, and he's got a pink nose. So my question for you is, does Lawn Bunny White Bunny also need a pink nose, or is a black nose okay? So should it be pink or should it stay black? I don't know. I'm stumped. So if you'd like to share your opinion on pink bunny nose or black bunny nose for the white bunny, I would appreciate your comments. So let me know what you think. I was happy with the black nose until I finished the other bunny with the pink nose. His nose seems to be a little crooked on the screen, but it actually looks okay in person. That's weird. Anyway, I was happy with the black nose and now I'm not. So what do you think? Should I switch it to pink? I'll probably switch it to pink, but I'm not sure yet. So anyway, finished the bunny. So I'm all done knitting bunnies. And no, these are not Easter bunnies. The timing just happens to be that way. And so I've started on another project. This is, I don't know where I put the book that it came from. This is my new project. Here's the pretty yarn. I love this color. It's probably not showing up quite true in the video here, but it's kind of shades of red and purple with a little bit of orange in there. So pretty. And so I'm knitting a little fashion scarf, which the pattern said to use. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Kathy says pink nose. Great. One vote for the pink. So the pattern is really weird for all you knitters out there. It's you knit all the stitches and then at the end you bind it off weird, and so a whole bunch of these stitches will get pulled out. It's gonna terrify me to get to that step where you actually remove stitches on purpose. But it looks really cool if I do it right. But it was supposed to be done with big clunky yarn, so it would have been like this wide of a, maybe more like that wide of a scarf, about 7 or 8 inches, somewhere around here. But I'm using this really thin yarn because it's pretty, and it's a scarf, so it doesn't really matter how wide it is. So I'm a little worried that it's gonna look like not as cool as in the picture since it's more fine yarn, but Anyway, I love the color and I loved the pattern, and so I'm gonna do that and see if it works out. And if not, that's okay. But I was planning on doing, Marlene also votes for the pink. All right. So I was thinking about making knitted knockers, where people knit for people who've had mastectomies, because soft knockers are more comfortable than like a silicone or whatever sort of bra insert. But they require certain yarns, and the little yarn shop that I was gonna buy a yarn from didn't have any of that kind, so now I have to look around and find it. I'd like to shop local, especially with the economy right now and everything being closed, and all the shops are obviously suffering a lot, so I would like to buy local, but there's some other yarn stores in the area that I'll check with next. I just haven't got around to it yet. So in the meantime, I'm knitting a scarf, which I don't know if I'll keep it yet or if it'll be a gift, but anyway, I wanted to try the pattern because it was so weird. Yeah, so for those of you who are just joining in, I want to know if the black bunny should have a pink nose. I'm sorry, if the white bunny should have a pink nose like the black bunny does, or if a black nose is okay for the white bunny. And so far we have 2 votes for switching it to pink nose, and no votes for keeping it as the black nose. But if you would like to vote too, the bunnies want to know. Other than knitting and took a walk around the block today. There's still little patches of snow, but not very much. It rained more overnight instead of snowing more, and so I think it snowed a little more and then it switched to rain again. And so there was not very much snow left. Most of it melted. So Ina also votes for the pink nose. Okay. Thank you all for participating in this, because I've been staring at the white bunny so long, I started to think that I was just, like, I don't know, overthinking it all. I'm really good at overthinking everything, and so I was pretty sure that I was just overthinking the whole what color should his nose be. So getting your feedback on this is very helpful, because I've been staring at him now for, weeks, and the nose was already kind of bugging me, and then I did the black bunny's pink nose, and as soon as I did this, I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably switch it. But then, like I said, I thought I was overthinking it all. So, yeah, so went for a walk this morning. It was like 40 degrees out, so kind of nice. Like, it was sunny, but cool. And so I went for a power walk around the block with my dad, and we even jogged a little. He started it. Before you go thinking that I'm dragging my dad on sprints or something. He's the one that started running, so I was keeping pace with him. And no, we were not being chased. And so went for a nice walk today. But then, since I got home, I've been feeling particularly lazy today. I did a little bit of homework, but kind of screwed up on my quiz for the week. Like, I got the grade was fine, but that class, it's weird. The what do you call it? The schedule is weird. So on, like, for this week, the reading and the reading, what am I trying to say here? This week's assignments are based on last week's reading assignment. Hi, Joy. So I guess that kind of makes sense because you then have the whole week to do the reading, except that it confuses me because all the other classes I've done, it's like, here's our curriculum for the week. You read this and the essay is about that, or the test is about that, or the whatever is about what you read that week. And this class, it's like, oh yeah, that stuff we did last week, now we're doing a quiz on it. And so I got confused, and for whatever reason, I forgot that's how this class worked. And I reviewed this week's reading instead of last week's reading. And so I was all ready for my quiz, next week's quiz, instead of this week's quiz. So, I did fine. But the whole way through the quiz, I was like, what? Wait a minute, what? This wasn't what I was just reading about. This was old stuff. Because I read that chapter like 2 weeks ago. So, good thing I remembered it. So it was kind of stressful. But it's really weird being a student again. I haven't been a student in I graduated college in 2005. So 15 years without doing student stuff. And so I enjoy being a student again, but it's kind of weird sometimes. So anyway, yeah. So I've just been lazing around. I've been reading several books simultaneously. I read a chapter or two, and then I get tired of that book, and then I go and read another book for a couple chapters. Then when I get tired of that, I go back to the first book. So I'm reading a biography and also a fantasy simultaneously today, and that's pretty much my day, is just relaxing and reading after my morning exercise and schoolwork, and then I just kind of kicked off for the afternoon, knitted a little. So weird thing, actually it wasn't, it felt weird, so whatever, in my opinion weird. While I was knitting, I was listening to the NPR show Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is a news quiz show that's really funny. If you've never listened to it, I highly recommend it. But they have all their episodes they put up after they air, they put them up as a podcast. So you can listen to them like you would listen to a podcast. And so I hadn't listened for several weeks. Turns out I hadn't listened for a month. And so I went back to the last one I hadn't, in the ones that I'd missed, I went back to the oldest one, which was from March 7th. Today's April 6th. So a full month ago. And remember, this is a news-based quiz show. And so it was news from a month ago. And with all of the craziness in the world right now, going back and listening to what was the big news a month ago is weird. People were still allowed outdoors back then. And the coronavirus news was about the cruise ship coming into San Francisco and the how to make your own hand sanitizer, and it's come such a long way in 1 month. It's just oof. So that was kind of strange. Like, normally I don't mind going back and listening to the news show or the news quiz show, uh, from weeks or even months before, because it's like, some politician said such and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't, like, it's funny regardless, or it's interesting, or it's whatever. It doesn't really matter for a lot of things when exactly you're listening to. But this is just, since we're still living the same news cycle as a month ago, just in a more heightened state of crazy. So, weird. Um, so anyway, I have nothing else to say today, but I will be having probably a lot to talk to you about tomorrow, because tomorrow is my big day out. I have been making a grocery list for days instead of running off to the store to get this and that odd thing. I've just been putting it off, putting it on my grocery list. I do my grocery shop. I can't talk today. Ugh. I've been making the trips to the store for my parents too, so they don't have to go out. And so they've been asking me to pick stuff for them, as if I can just, run out and get it. But I'm not running out and getting it, so I keep telling Tuesday, I'll go get it Tuesday, and then I put it on the list. And so I have 6, I think. Wow. I have 6 stops for places I need to go tomorrow, plus the grocery store. So 7 places, and I'm just gonna go out. I've got my face mask. I have to show you my face mask. Goes great with my hat. So my mom has been sewing face masks to donate, and also for high-risk people that we know. And so she has been sewing away on her sewing machine, and she's like professional seamstress quality of sewing and experience. I can sew things, but I don't see any point in me doing it poorly, because I can just give it to her to sew. So she's really good, and so she's been making face masks, and so I asked her to make me one, so that when I go out to do all these errands that I have one also. So here's my face mask. Isn't that great? It's got cooking stuff on it. So and it's got a pocket in the back for a filter, although I don't have anything that I can put in there that would be really actually any good. So I'm just going to at least trust that some fabric is better than no fabric as far as a face mask goes. At least it will help with, large particulates in the air and whatever. But anyway, I got my face mask, and I've got folded paper towel. I considered doing that. I'm not sure that that's really much better, but it wouldn't hurt. So I am going out to do all my errands tomorrow. I have 7 places I need to go. I've got rubber gloves, I've got my face mask, and Ina adds, and microwave it after use. Yes, and or what I was planning, since I'm only going out once a week, they are machine washable, and so I'm gonna wash it on high heat with the rest of my clothes that I wear out tomorrow, to get them as clean as possible that way, and then everything will be clean and ready for the next time I go out next week. It's not like I need to sanitize it to reuse it quickly. The microwave thing's great if you're like going out again tomorrow and you don't want to wash it, in a washing machine, high heat. So, but I don't have that problem. So I am all organized for my trip out tomorrow, and I have so many places that I've been putting off going to for the last at least a week. Some of the things I put off going to for several weeks now, and so I'm going to go and take care of all those things. So tomorrow I will probably have all sorts of things to tell you about my big adventure outdoors. And it's yeah, I feel like it might take me, I might only just be getting back when 4 o'clock hits. So we'll see. I'm gonna get started pretty early, like as soon as, not the grocery store, like I respect that some of, what day is tomorrow? Tuesday especially. The store that I go to Tuesday mornings are for seniors, so I'm not doing the grocery store first thing, but I'm going to go do some of the other stuff, like my dad needs me to pick him up something he ordered from a it's from an agricultural store, so I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to go to the pet food store and get cat food, and I'm going to do that kind of stuff. And then once the senior time is done, then I can go to the grocery store. So I should be all done well before 4 o'clock, so I can come back and tell you all about the exciting things of the great outdoors tomorrow. And Lydia adds, just be careful, other people don't stay 6 feet away. That is true, and I'm very conscientious now about, not touching my face so much, because with the face mask it's harder to touch your face anyway, and it reminds you real quick. But the, what other people might have touched, like door handles, and like I won't pick up something off of a shelf to buy unless I'm really committed to buying it, because I don't need to get my fingers all over it, and I hope everyone else is doing the same. I know they're not necessarily, but everyone can do something like that at least. Commit to what you touch. But yeah, and I think I mentioned a couple days ago that I found a bottle of hand sanitizer in my closet. So now I can also, I have rubber gloves, so I probably won't need it, but I have hand sanitizer also now. So gloves are better because I have a very small amount of hand sanitizer and I have to stretch it, but trying to be careful. The cases in the county that I live in are now, I'm not really sure the number, I haven't checked today, but over 30, because 30 was the last I heard, and that was a few days ago. So it's a pretty small county, but it's here too. We're pretty rural, but it's still here too, so gotta be careful. And of course, not just for myself, but because I am doing all the shopping for my parents, and I'm doing some shopping for some other people in the area too. So I don't need to be catching something and bringing it to them. So anyway, trying to do my part to make the world a healthier place. So that's what you have to look forward to tomorrow. Unless there are any significant problems, I will be back again at 4 o'clock Pacific time, which is 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. Joy adds, wipe the groceries off. Yes, I have been doing that with a mild bleach mixture. That's actually like, it was pre-mixed bleach stuff that was for cleaning bathrooms. So I've been spraying down. I hate with a passion the scent of bleach. Like, just makes me want to hurl. It's nasty. And But I recognize it's important, and so I am still cleaning the groceries off like that, and I won't let my parents help put away the groceries until I have sanitized them all. And then when I'm done, well, tomorrow I'm going to wear gloves when I do that, and then hopefully my hands won't stink. But last week when I did that, it took like 5 hours, including a full shower, before I got the smell of bleach off my hands. It was awful. So yeah, I don't like using bleach, but I am. So Lydia adds, whoops, it just disappeared. You can also use tissues or paper towel to open doors and shopping cart handles, and Q-tips for keypads. I was wondering what to do for keypads, because like, well, it's okay with the rubber gloves, but some things you can't avoid touching, like when you're entering your PIN number on the keypads. So that's a good idea. I like that. I had been so careful when I was at the store last week to not touch anything except what I was buying. And then I got up to the register and I had to touch the keypad. I was like, dang it. I didn't even have... I went to a couple different stores, and the one store that I was careful of not touching anything, I only had an armload of things. So I was just carrying it, so I didn't even have to touch a basket. And then I got up there and was like, dang, now I have to touch the keypad. So that's a cool idea. Ina says I can use hydrogen peroxide instead of bleach, and I'm going to look that up. I think that sounds like a swell idea, because I really don't mind the smell of hydrogen peroxide like I mind the smell of bleach. So that makes sense to me, and so thank you. I think I only have like hydrogen peroxide that we have is almost out, so hopefully they have some at the store. I better put that on my list. So yeah, keep on sharing helpful tips, and you know, whoever's watching this later can read them too. And that's all I have. So I think I said that like 10 minutes ago, but now I mean it. So I will be back tomorrow after many exciting adventures in the outdoors world. So I will share those with you when I come back tomorrow. And so come back and join me, and I will chat with you then. Bye.